Ladies and gentlemen, filmmakers and moviegoers alike, welcome to this week's episode of Critically Casual. Now on 2 channels. Ooh.
Yeah, for the day.
Yeah, for the day. So yeah, I'm Street Cuffs. Joining me as always is the amazing Dorkydev. What's up, Dev?
It's just a powerful Dorkydev.
Just because this is the 90s again doesn't mean everything involves power.
Oh, go Power Rangers. Do, 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 do.
So yeah, this week, unless there's anything else you want to talk about really fast. Erg.
I'm currently doing a subathon still, so that's why we're live on 2 channels.
Yeah. Go sub to Dev's channel. You got 24 and a half hours.
25 hours, 11 minutes, and 5 seconds.
4, 3. I'm just kidding. So yeah, do the things on both channels. That'd be cool. But until then, let's start talking about this week. Because this week, like every week, I have the most clever titles. It's reviewing time.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. So clever. I know. Praise me later. We're doing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. I didn't mean to put the in there, but I did because Batman. I don't know. And then we're doing Saban's Power Rangers.
Well, that one's just called Power Rangers, by the way.
Doesn't matter. All the same.
Fair, I guess. It's just Power Rangers.
Let's see, but if you look it up on IMDb, I'm curious. I put Power Rangers. Okay, yeah, sure. Either way, so we're talking about these movies this week. Ready to talk about the first one?
Yeah, we can start talking.
All right, perfect. We're starting off and we're talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Ooh.
Yeah, which was released June 30th, 1995, with a budget of $20 million. It grossed it made on its opening weekend $13 million, and gross U.S. and Canada $38 million, with 66 worldwide. So it made its triple the budget thing that these movies have to do, sort of thing. That's our rule of thumb. Man, genuinely, when I watched this, I just kind of just watched it and just enjoyed. You know,
I watched it and I was like, wow, I used to love this show. It's
and I
not,
became a cynical asshole.
yep, then I became a cynical asshole. It's in a castle.
Accurate.
But yeah, fun. It was fine. It was okay. Lot, lot to watch. Very nostalgic though. I gotta
Oh
say.
yeah, 100%. It
Fun, stupid,
was a good time.
ridiculous. Everything was very 90s.
Oh yeah, 100%. The most 90s. Like it was very, very 90s.
5. Movie's almost as old as you are, Dev.
Just about, yes.
Old. It's not.
Fuck off.
If 28 was old or 27 was old, then we'd all be in trouble.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, let's start talking about other things like let's see, the cast. I mean, they were what you could expect from a Power Rangers movie. They did their things.
From the 90s. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it was the cast of the show at the time. So you had the characters of Aisha, Adam, Rocky, Tommy, Kimberly, and Billy. It wasn't the original cast where we had Jason, Trini, and fuck Zach. Um, because those three, two of them had left, and at that point, the actress who played Trini had passed away, I believe.
Hmm.
And so Jason and Zach weren't on the show anymore. And I still stand by Rocky as a terrible replacement for Jason, but I digress. Um, but you know, we got the characters from the show.
Hmm.
Um, it like the best way to put this movie is if you watch Power Rangers from the 90s, it was just a long episode.
It really was just a long episode.
But it doesn't feel long. You know what I mean?
Uh,
It feels like a multi-parter.
I
Like
mean,
if this was an if this was on the show,
mhm.
it would be a multi-parter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where it would like they'd cut it off at a moment. You know,
I
like
mean,
the first episode would be when the place gets attacked.
mhm.
It would end there. Second episode would be them getting the ninja things.
I mean, I know how you're
And doing
explaining
that.
it, but still, to me, it felt long. It's only an hour and 35 minutes, but I was like, oh god, how much longer until this movie's over? Ah, it felt like it took forever.
You have no heart.
Nope, I am not Captain Planet. One thing I do appreciate about this one is you can kind of, other than the characters being different characters, you know, like this person has this thing, this person has that thing. At least they all also had like different equipment to use that stood out in this movie. Like Yellow Ranger had her weird headlight things. The Blue Ranger had, they all had their individual weapons and whatnot.
Yeah.
The weird part for me was the freaking Amazonian woman. Just felt real out of place.
I mean, it's Power Rangers. Shit like that happens. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I always look at it.
He was
Like,
beating their butt, and then suddenly, whistles, whistles save the day.
I mean, has it never saved the day for you?
No.
Huh. That's a shame.
Closest thing to a whistle I have would be my trombone, and that's just a giant slide whistle. It has not saved the day.
You haven't tried hard enough.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Yep, no problem. What I'm here for.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of strange because this was very much a kid's series and a kid's movie where most of the punches that hit were fart noises and every movement in the Ranger's outfit was a whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just the show. Like, and in my opinion, if you enjoy the show, it's fun. Like, I can't look at this critically because like it's not something that I think is something that gets looked at critically, if that makes sense.
If you ooze, you lose.
I'm just pointing out that like like it's a kids movie for a generation that loved Power Rangers,
Hmm.
and it delivers on everything it needs to deliver on.
You're not wrong. It did do that. But I am going to judge it critically. Because I have no heart.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah. It's just one of those ones where it's just like this is a weird one to review because like it's like because I don't know how else to put it other than like if you watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it's that like that is what it is.
Hmm.
It's silly, it's goofy, it's got some martial arts, um, it's got Zords, it's got a big bad, it's got you know a journey that they're supposed to go on, um. But like I will say because it's a movie, they kind of do the anime thing where the movie's like impact doesn't impact the entire universe outside of like the new things,
Hmm.
like the new gadgets and shit. So there is that as well.
Being called a monster by monster. Cat.
True. Yeah, it's like it's a fun time if you enjoyed the Power Rangers growing up. Like I still stand by it.
Mm. I do like. I did enjoy the Power Rangers growing up, but now I'm an adult. I still kind of enjoyed it, but like I said, it was just to me it was not as gripping as it used to be. You know, like my attention span has expanded a little bit past 5 minutes of flashiness and witty one-liners. A little bit, not much, but at least a little.
How could you?
And all like every single line of dialogue was just a one-line cliche. I mean, that's what the Power Rangers TV show was, sure.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's how. I mean, like I said, it's the TV show.
Hmm.
Like I, I expected nothing more from this.
And I don't know what it was either. Like some of the stuff that I never noticed before, like how crappy the Alpha 5 outfit was.
Yeah, I do gotta say the outfits are a little weird in it.
Hmm.
Like I would have kind of rather we stuck with the actual ones from the show.
Hmm.
Um, but I get what they were going with these because like it's a movie, so put some budget into those.
Yeah, and the what was it? The sometimes the animated effects that they did, like the cartoon eyes of the one character that gets kicked in the head from both sides, and he doesn't like explode or anything. It's just like his eyes bulge, they go back to not existing anymore, and then he kind of like turns into jello and melts downwards.
Did you realize what all those guys' masks were?
I'm pretty sure they were Michael Myers masks. Yeah, but they painted them purple and then added a bunch of random other junk onto it.
Yeah, 100%. Like I saw the mask, I'm like, oh, that looks like a Michael Myers mask.
Uh huh. Michael Myers mask painted purple, some purple like hockey gear. You're set to go. Bunch of rubber too.
100%. Yeah, no.
Funny, I went under the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers quotes. For some reason, there's not really many quotes here. I must have clicked on the wrong thing because it's showing me all the things that they messed up instead. Like the continuity errors or the character errors and whatnot. That's okay, I guess. Gonna get an extra point anyways.
Yeah. I mean, like, of course, there's gonna be continuity errors. It's a movie. Like
Mhm.
every movie frame, every time a TV show has a movie, like there's continuity errors immediately.
I'm reading through a bunch of the one-liners now. What's that odious stench? It smells like teenagers. No, teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
Yeah. If you're having news, yeah.
Someone could bleed so dark. Or
See, I would have laughed more if it was teenagers with attitude.
that would have been funny. Or what was it? They're on a completely different planet, and Dulcea, whatever her name is, still knows about the Prince and the Frog, or the Princess and the Frog. No problem.
She's an ancient being with potentially omnipotent like knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yep, possibly because Zordon has infinite knowledge too.
It's entirely possible that Zardon, did the thing of like just transferring her information the entire time while he's been on Earth. Be like, hey,
But we will
Dulcea,
never know.
how you doing?
Or how, like, I liked the human, like the physical body of Zordon. I thought that was fine. But the like white makeup face that they put on the screen, I thought was pretty bad. Still tell TV show, but
Yeah, it was a little weird. It was a little odd. Yeah, like I don't know. This movie's just it's a classic. You know what I mean? Like it's the old school. It's the original. It's the one that it helped bring Power Rangers further into the limelight.
it's the one that inspired Lego Ninjago. I don't know. But back then
Entirely
it was
possible.
called Ninjetti.
Is that what it used to be called?
No, that's what they call it in this movie.
Oh, god damn it!
Jetty. Okay, yeah, I got nothing else here to talk about this movie unless there's anything else specific that you want to talk about.
No, we could probably move on to popcorn for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie.
All right, here's your popcorns for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. What you giving it?
I'm giving it a 7.
You press a button there for a second.
Me?
Yeah. Now you're muted.
Yeah. Wait, what button are you talking about?
For a second there, I thought you hit a button because I thought I heard you like go into claptrap voice.
No, I didn't hit any of that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's this movie. We're moving on to the next one.
You didn't give it a score.
Fine. This this movie.
Wait, don't just find me. Like what?
You're not wrong.
Bro.
This movie, with the kids' point, it gets a 5 from me.
Jesus, wow, you are who shat in your Cheerios today?
A lot of people. Just kidding. It wasn't that bad. My doctor, she shat in my. Okay, so first movie, we're good now. All's right in the world except for your hatred for my score.
Yep.
Okay, all's right in the world then. Let's move on to the next movie, Power Rangers,
which was released on March 24th of 2017. Wow. Yeah, that's freaky. About 5 years ago, almost to the date.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn. Anyways, with a budget of $1 million, it grows. Opening weekend had 40 million, gross US 85 million, and worldwide 142 million. So not great for a budget. Which is honestly kind of disappointing because, like, for being a bit of a retelling
and
kind of doing its own thing a little bit, like, I think this takes the source material and does a good job with it.
I thought it did an okay job, honestly.
Like, it's tough to, like, let's be real. You're adapting arguably one of the cheesiest properties out there.
Yep.
And you're trying to make it so that, like, old heads, like us, enjoy it. New heads enjoy it, like children. And teenagers with attitude. And I'll be honest, I think they did a pretty good job with what they had. Like, it worked. You know what I mean?
I, for the most part, agree with you. My one and ultimate complaint for this movie is it takes itself too seriously. I mean, it has the comedy jokes that it puts in there because, it's a teen kids movie, still ultimately at heart. But,
Right.
like, there's so many scenes where it's, like, so dramatic and so upsetting, but it's too heavily put on there. Especially right before they, like, fuse and whatnot. That scene was way too much for me. And then they
That's fine.
immediately do the trip and fall joke. Wasn't quite there yet. It's fine though. But my second biggest complaint for this movie, even though it still did fine, was it's still a lot of cliches thrown together, but not like cliche one-liners, just like cliche movie things.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably like the one that really like the whole beginning of the movie is they're the Breakfast Club, and we get the whole like teen girl movie scene where you cut your hair short because someone made fun of you. It's a lot.
Yeah, no, and like it does. I mean, it does a lot of tropes, but
Lots of
like
Deus Ex Machina.
at the same time, I'm like, some for a movie like this, it's got to have to rely on some tropes to get it where it needs to
Mhm.
be. Um, because like it's not like it's pulling from the strongest source material.
You're not
Like
wrong
I love
either.
Power Rangers,
Hmm.
but like again, it's not the craziest source material to go off of.
Yeah. I also like one other thing that kind of caught my attention was their choice of which characters, like what was what. Like, I know that the Power Rangers has always been like a diverse, inclusive cast, but I don't know, something about it now I didn't enjoy as much as I would have like originally with the TV show.
What do you mean?
But like, I'm not sure that I like that the characters, like their whole character, was just based off of what they were. Like the Blue Ranger, his whole thing is he's on the spectrum, and that's basically
Right.
his entire character. The Yellow Ranger, her whole thing is, oh, she's gay. That's her whole character.
Okay,
The
I can agree with that to a degree, but at the same time, like it like let's be real for a second too about it. Like 2017, though very recent,
Mhm.
like was still like in this scale of where we are as people, especially here in America,
Mhm.
like things have drastically changed in those like 5 years.
I wouldn't necessarily say drastically, but they have changed for the better.
We went through 4 years of Trump.
Mm.
Things have drastically changed for better or worse depending on the situations. Um, like better, people are very vocal and trying to fight for these kinds of things, right?
Mhm.
Worse because there's also people very vocally fighting for against that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So I think it works in the sense that like because also it's a kids movie and sometimes you gotta kind of be I don't know I don't want to say dumb, but like you gotta lay things out a little bit. Um, I guess is how I'm putting it.
Yeah. I can see both chats, by the way, for anyone who's in both chats. I am
Yeah, I can
watching.
too.
um, but like, I understand what you're saying. I understand that there wasn't much source material and they did the best that they could. Um, I actually appreciate what they did with the movie too. Honestly, like, it wasn't that bad in all all things considered.
The suits actually looked pretty cool.
I did kind of like the suits. I liked the action for the most part. It's just the character, like the actual character stuff, I didn't enjoy. Um, the opening scene was probably like the opening scene with our main character. Um, suddenly, I'm forgetting.
Jason.
Hmm?
Jason,
Jason, yes.
the Red Ranger.
Huh? Some reason names blank all the time, even though should know them by heart. What was your name again?
Hate it here.
Even like with Jason's opening segment where they did the one shot with him in the escape car, like I thought that was kind of mediocre. Like it wasn't bad. They definitely did better than I can because they have the equipment, but I still was like, okay, I kind of understand that we're not going really heavy-handed in like the high quality production video content. What we did get wasn't bad though. Like I don't know how many times I gotta say. Ultimately, this wasn't a bad movie. I would say it's a slightly above average movie, sure. And when we get into spoilers and stuff, I can get into much more detail about some of the stuff that happens.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's like it's a decent attempt at like um creating a like to bring the like a new change to the story, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like let's be real, like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers story hasn't been told since the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's a way to reintroduce it. And I wish honestly this would have made more money and stuff. I think it got critically panned for no reason by people because it wasn't because like the problem with the Power Rangers franchise too is there's two subgroups out of the adults in
Mm-hmm.
it, or three. The ones who want it to be exactly like how it was,
Uh-huh.
the ones who want it to be this dark, gritty, evil world,
Mm-hmm.
and the people who just want to enjoy Power Rangers.
I see. See, my complaint was this movie needed more Michael Bay. Like, could you imagine if he directed this?
It would have been awful.
What are you talking about?
No, I hate that idea. I hate that idea on so many levels. No. But no, like for real, like I think that's the thing about it. Like I think people just like kind of hated on it for no reason.
I don't think like maybe the critique was a little bit too much. Sure. But I don't think all of the critiques were necessarily too bad. Like some of the stuff to me makes valid sense.
I mean, some of it yes, but I'm saying like in general from an audience perspective. Like critics fine. Hit it where you're going to hit it. But you also have to understand that like from a fan perspective, like this is arguably going to be the best we get.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say to that. Like, because like the what's his name? The guy who played Billy in the original. God damn it! Let me scroll up here. David Yoist has talked about how he's apparently writing something that he wants to pitch to Netflix about like it's like a 6 or 8 episode reunion thing.
Okay.
Um and he wants it to like where they are and stuff like that. They come back together and they do like, one last like thing. Um and like cool, but you like at the same time I'm over here like I- do we need that? Cuz like it's going to be like it's going to be weird if like people if it when like they come back for that role if they do it. Cuz like no offense to everyone who's in it, because I'm get like for the most part, from what I've seen, they all stay fairly active because they were all like active, you know, young adults.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like they aren't. Sprite chickens anymore.
They are not Sprite Chickens anymore. It's all of them coming to their 30-year high school anniversary. And, and then suddenly Rita Repulsa comes back. Oh. Which, I gotta say though, with this movie, I thought it was kind of like, I liked what they set up for why everything matters. Like the end of the world and whatnot story that they came up with was totally fine. But the thing that caught my attention, just because of how ridiculous it feels, is the names of like our mentor and then the main antagonist, because we have Zordon, like the mighty computer program who used to be a great hero and the leader of the Power Rangers, and Rita, the Green Ranger, goes bad.
Yep.
Just, I know it's cartoon stuff based off
Oh, yeah.
of the show, but still, it just made me laugh.
Yeah, I mean, it is though. It's a kids show. Like that's where it all comes from. So of course it's gonna be a little silly. It's a kids show. Like if it's not a little silly, kids aren't gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So
And what is it? One character, maybe the two characters who got the least amount of screen time were Zach and Trini. Trini,
yeah,
hers is the one I think I'm the most disappointed by, just because her whole thing is she's gay. But with
they
Zach,
they don't really make it that big of a thing.
I know they don't
They're
make.
making it. It's just that at home, it's like, or, I think they handle it well. Okay, I'm gonna
Mhm.
argue you on this
Mhm.
because like it's about the fact that like her parents want her to be quote unquote normal,
Mhm.
and like she's not
Mhm.
the normal that they want, um, which is okay. I think they handle that fine.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that there should be more. I guess. Like, I definitely know that's what I'm saying. Because, sure,
Okay.
she doesn't fit her parents' mold, and that's because she doesn't wear the right clothing or date the appropriate people or yada blah 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 blah. But I feel like there should be more than that. Like the scene where we really get to break down people, like the kids' emotions, I feel like should be deeper than that. Surface level kind of. It's not necessarily surface level, sure, but like,
I was
um,
gonna say that ain't surface level in my book.
yeah. But I feel like it should be a little. There should be more complexity to these characters, especially because like she ultimately was okay, fine, but like the character Zach, he gets absolutely no character development in this whole movie, other than that one scene as well, where he talks about his sick mother. And that's it. We know nothing else about him other than his mom is sick.
I'm not arguing that, but like we're also doing this in a 2-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be real, in a cast movie like this, it's tough to get all that kind of stuff in under 2 hours nowadays.
You know what? The one thing I would have changed is instead of them getting to know each other, they already know each
I mean, yeah, you could have done that. I
other.
mean, that's kind of how they did it in the show.
Yeah, I think that would have been totally fine. That's how they padded the runtime. They get to know each
I mean, they'd have to change the entire plot though,
Yeah, but I think it still would be better.
because then we don't have the team coming together thing, all that.
Mhm.
Because if they're already like, if they already all know each other and shit like that, you don't have to build up that kind of like build up them trusting each other and stuff like that. You know.
Mhm. Like I could see them needing, like they know each other, then they need to be trained to do whatever it is they do best, and they each have a different skill set other than just being strong and able to fight good. And like the one character out of this entire movie that had the most like character would probably be Kimberly. And that's because even though she was supposedly the meanest person ever and like had a rough whatever, she still at the same time like was the support and picked people up literally when they needed help getting their swords back up, and which to me feels like the most complex because even though she's an aggressive, angry person supposedly, she's also very helpful. While the others didn't have that two-sidedness.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like, yes in a sense, but no in a sense because like I think it would be tough for everyone to develop an entire arc during one movie.
That could be a complaint too. Too many characters.
But then just don't make a Power Rangers movie.
Yeah. Why do you think they didn't make a second? I'm just kidding.
Oh, they easily could have made a second. My fear for a second was Tommy. Because, like, I'm sorry. My big complaint about Mighty Morphin. I love Tommy. Okay, I get it. He's fucking rad. And we wouldn't have Power Rangers without him. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. 100%. But the moment Jason David Frank came on the show, the Red Ranger no longer was the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Wasn't that a part
that's
of the
just
character arc originally? Like he had to learn to step down from being in charge and be okay with it.
sort of a little bit. Yeah, it was part of it definitely. Is what it was. Where's Jason as a character at? Sorry, I'm looking through the um regular one down here. So I can't remember the actor's name. And there was always rumors about these two fighting behind the scenes and stuff. Austin St. John, um, who played obviously Jason Lee Scott.
From the original Power Rangers.
Yes,
For anyone who's confused, like I might have been.
yes. The moment Tommy showed up, Jason became on the back burner, and that would be my fear about the sequel. Is that the moment Tommy shows up, we have Jason on the back burner, or we make it some bullshit love triangle bullshit.
What was the one of the last movies we saw where the main character was instantly killed in the second movie?
Oh, G.I. Joe.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we did that.
That's what they do with this one. Make it edgier.
Oh, no. I would hate that. I don't know. Like my thing about this is that like no one the problem this movie will always face is no one's going to be satisfied.
Except for people who've never seen the show before.
Yeah, and I think it does a good job of that. And even as someone who's watched the show before, I think it's enjoyable.
I just looked up Power Rangers, random like Power Rangers lore. And there's an alternate reality Power Rangers world where Tommy is called Lord Dracon, and
Yeah,
he's like an
it's
evil
been a
ruler.
big thing in the comics. Yeah,
Yeah, I had no
it's
idea.
a huge thing. It's a huge thing. He like combines the powers of the actually like the he uses because he doesn't ever go good um in that version. And then he kills Rita and shit like that. Like it gets dark. Um and he kills all the other Rangers and shit. It's fucked.
Nice. I need to read that comic then.
He's like he actually Jason Lee Scott came back for like a commercial for the comic book. Like he did like they did a trailer for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So and like it's all canon and stuff. Like because the other thing too is like all the Power Rangers stuff is canon to each other. Um
see, Michael
because
or Monster gets it. Michael Bay would make it edgier and explodier.
no.
Totally. It's exactly what this franchise needs. Just like the
No.
Transformers series.
Oops, I didn't do that. How did that pop up over there? Anyways.
I
But
do.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I had two cast members that I wasn't expecting at all, though. I wasn't expecting Bryan Cranston, and I wasn't expecting Bill Hader.
Fair
Like
enough.
I don't know why. Like to me, it makes sense. Bryan Cranston honestly makes sense for Zordon. Like it, I have no complaints. But I was like, oh, that's pleasant. Bill Hader worked out fine. I think he tried to more mimic like Claptrap than he, even though it's not quite the whole Claptrap vibe. I think he did that more than he channeled like original Alpha.
Kinda. I can see that a little bit. It's not far off though.
Not too far off, no. Well,
Yeah.
I got nothing else non-spoilery. Do you have anything else?
Uh no, I think we're good to go.
All right. Then before we get too into ratings here really fast, this is a PG-13 movie. This one get the kids points.
No.
Oh, all right. All right, Dev.
Yeah, you eat your popcorn kernels.
Okay. So I will give this movie without the kids point a 6.
Fair. I'm giving it a 7.5.
All right. Not that bad, honestly. 2. Okay. Now, are we ready for the spoilers?
Let's get ready to spoil!
We're ready now. All right. So, spoilers. Let's talk things. Do you like the idea? Well, did you like the premise that Zordon was trying to save himself, even though that wasn't directly what he was doing?
I mean, I think it worked for the story.
I feel like it did too, but I feel like I don't know. Like it felt like that was some big deception in the movie. But to me, that was
I
kind of
mean,
just like a bonus to them being able to figure out their teamwork stuff, is that they could revive somebody.
well, I mean, with that, I think it's that it's that Zordon wasn't openly honest with them at the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a fair complaint if the dude's get like, "Hey, you've got to do all this shit," and then doesn't tell you like the reason behind it, and then like you find that out, and it like from Jason's perspective, is going to replace him essentially,
Mm-hmm.
right? But he's gotta get the team led to that point so that that can happen. Like, I mean, it's kind of shitty.
It's a little shitty, but not necessarily like as personal, I would feel. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Other things to talk about. It was that. I mean, ultimately, the Zordon thing was fine. The reason I ultimately bring that up is the resurrection of Billy.
Yeah, I forgot they did. I remember hearing about that, but I forgot they actually did that.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't mind that they actually killed him off, but I do mind that it was just bring him back to Zordon, and then now he's back to life.
Well, I think it works because it also shows Zordon it like trusts them to do it.
Yes.
Do their job. So I think that works. Um, because it shows that like it shows the bond that like and that Billy for them was their glue. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So loyal.
Out of that group.
Blue the Ranger.
Like that he's the reason why they're able to do what they're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
That they all met in the first place is because of Billy.
In a way, yes.
So like him like being the one to like because his loyalty to the rest of the group, you know, he had to make a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't going to sacrifice his friends. Um,
It's too nice. Friendly.
and then like his friends realizing how much that like all this means to them too, and
Mhm.
like being like, this guy was great for us. Like he cared about us. Like, and having that ability to like, because that's growth in my opinion, is like being able to like come to terms with that kind of stuff. And they didn't come to terms, quote unquote, but they were like, he was our friend. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and that like regret of not being able to say that like loudly sooner. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think it works on that front. And then like Zordon realizing that what that team, when they activate the Morphin grid, and he's like, he has to make that choice of being like, this team has figured out their team.
Mhm.
I think it's that like, and I think I have to revive him because this team won't work without him.
Papa Bryan Cranston saving the day by not being selfish.
Yep.
Now, hear me out. What if, from the very beginning, we knew that Zordon had the ability to come back, like he just was open and honest with them? But then some of the same events happen, like Billy still dies, and he gives up coming back after they do the training, like because they don't want to have the responsibility of saving the universe or whatever. So they train to be able to unlock the thing and attempt to be able to save Zordon. But then in the process of training, they decide that they actually do want it, and they revive Billy that way. After Zordon's like, "Yeah, I'll give it up. Fine. You guys now have the responsibility or whatnot." Blah 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 blah.
What are you trying to get at? Because what are you? You didn't ask a question at the end of that.
What like what do you think? I thought I started that with what do you think about what if they did it this way type thing.
Oh, you did. You just said, "What if this?"
Mm-hmm.
And then the spiel and nothing to like.
Okay, sorry. Context clues in my head were enough.
Sorry, I didn't know where you were going. Like,
I know you've only had 8 sleep in the last 60 hours, but like 8 hours of sleep in the last 60 hours. But come on.
it's past that. I've passed the 72-hour mark. We're at like, ooh, that's. I think I'm at 79 hours live.
How many hours do you have left? 24 now, or 25 at this point?
24 and a half.
24 and a half. Let's say
24 and a half.
if we're only going off of how many hours have you increased the stream length other than the 24 bonus?
That would be tomorrow. It's only gone up a few hours.
Okay. That's it, because if it's only the 24-hour bonus, then you've barely been live for over 72 hours. But if you've added more hours other than the 24, then it's fine.
No, I know when I started going live. That's what I go off of.
Mhm.
I started at 1 o'clock Sunday. We've passed 3 days. So those are 72 hours. And then I add the, what, 7 hours from there?
Does that include the 15 to 20 minutes you're just listening to music before the Sorry, could resist. Couldn't even finish it off without laughing to myself. 6 to 7 extra hours have been. Thank you, Monster.
Yes.
All because of amazing people following.
Yeah, it'd be actually, no, it is like, it's, because we're going 6 hours now. Right? No. 7 hours plus from where we started now. 7.5 hours have been added about, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about how much has been added. On top of the 24.
Okay. Lots of hours.
Yep.
Trying to think if there's anything else, any other like major things to talk about spoiler wise. I'm sure there is, but I can't think of it right now.
Oh, when Jason and Kimberly show up, canonically for me in my head, canon, that is actually them is Kim and Tommy from the original, just like they're universe hopping
Okay.
because they do like because Tommy universe hops in the show.
Mhm.
That's why like that's why not all the Rangers show up in every series.
Mhm.
Or the history of the Rangers exists in every series because it's not always on the same Earth.
Okay. I don't remember what the opening scene for this movie was where we first see Jason.
No, we saw Tommy and Kimberly at the end when the Megazord wins.
Oh,
They're taking a picture.
that's right. I mean,
For
maybe.
me, canonically, it's them
Sure.
because they're like, oh, hey, this version of this Earth is us, just at a different time in different suits,
Mhm.
but it's us. For me, that's what they are.
Yeah, they're playing scared civilians in the crowd and not helping fight the big bad. Totally them.
Well, because they didn't have to.
But they
They
feel
knew-
the responsibility of doing what's right.
if shit had gotten south, they would have stepped in.
They literally saw 5 mechs fall into the volcanic core. They're like, that's
Yeah,
not
but the
so.
Megazord hadn't shown up.
They're like, oh, it's fine. They haven't played all their cards yet.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Not even Rita Repulsa knew that the Megazord existed. She
Yeah, but
worked
Tommy
with
and
Zordon.
Kimberly would have. Because they'd done it before. They literally made the Megazord.
This almost feels like it's going to be the same argument that we have over like the Marvel extended universe. It's like this one matters. No, it doesn't.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, yes, I agree with you. Like, a lot of those movies technically don't matter to the overall thing, in a sense. But like, they are canon, so they are on the list. That is the thing that I'm going off of.
Mhm.
Because like the X-Men movies, if and when we add those, guess what? All of those are canon to each other in some weird way,
Hmm.
because timelines are funky over
I
there.
would just be real happy if we never saw any of the original, all recast, and then the original X-Men movies would not be a part of the MCU at all.
It's not happening, right?
I know. Well, at least I don't know. Actually, I haven't seen any trailers for anything for Doctor Strange or anything like that.
I'm just saying it's not gonna happen that way.
Uh-huh.
It's just
That we can't get original hype. We have to get hype off of older things to make it work.
what the fuck happened here? What?
Oh no.
How did that do that? That was weird.
Why would what do?
Anyways, I don't know the thing that I was trying to fix something and it got weird over here for a second on my end. Okay, I fixed it.
All's right in the world.
Yep. I was just stating though. Anyways, yeah. Like I said, like this is a good movie, in my opinion. A good adaptation. For a weird ass franchise.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's ultimately fine. It's a lot less 90s, a lot more 2015-ish. I did enjoy small things like I thought that they did well on bringing back stuff that happened at the beginning of the movie and doing it at the end of the movie, especially like the slap. I thought that was funny.
That was a good callback.
Mm-hmm. That was probably my favorite part. Is she lunges at them and then slap into space. I was like, damn.
That's how she goes towards the moon.
Uh-huh. She's all icy now. Ooh. Part of me also wonders, like, if they never found the coins, would Rita ever have reawakened? Because
I
it's
don't know.
been 65 million years since Zordon died, according to Alpha. And it wasn't until they found the coins that Rita was a problem.
I think it just happened at the same time.
Would be a pretty big coincidence. But you know, movie's got a movie, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's like, I don't know what more you want from it. We got a movie.
Oh, I want to bring this up just because I thought it was funny. Because Rita Repulsa in this movie is, you know, not the most attractive lady. She definitely brings on like hella vibes, but like they've repositioned parts of her face to be like alienish and whatnot. Um, but then you look online for like pictures of the actress as Rita Repulsa, and a lot of them are her trying to be cute as Rita Repulsa, and that just made me laugh. It's nothing to do with the movie, no critique there. Just thought I'd bring that up.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I thought silly and out of character, but you know, whatever.
It worked.
It worked. I did like the callback scene where they all lined up like they do in the show, and then the Go Go Power Rangers music came on.
Dude, yeah, when the music kicked in, I was like, all right, cool.
Yep,
Let's
it was
fucking
cool.
go.
Though other songs, there's a lot of times I didn't like the music that they chose. Once again, I've seemed to lately not be enjoying pop music as like the main song.
You're gonna tell me you didn't like Power, didn't you?
Probably not.
Bro, whenever that fucking song, I'm not a huge Kanye fan, but like, dude, anytime Power pops on, my brain just goes, fuck yeah, let's go.
Like it's a good song for sure, but like I feel like the importance was it's a rebooted the way, like, sure, it's the song Power and they're Power Rangers, but like I feel like the important part about that song was the fact that they're in the 21st century, and that's what Power Rangers looks like in the 21st century.
It's all about one man, not one man should have all that power.
All that power.
And it's really referring to Rita for the song in
Mhm.
this one. Um,
This
Also,
feels out of place for
anytime
me.
that, like, I'm just gonna say, anytime that song pops up, I'm in because there are multiple reasons. Because A, Limitless. B, Saints Row the third.
It's all
The
your nostalgia
skydiving
for
scene.
everything else.
The skydive scene
Mm-hmm.
when that starts playing. Fuck yeah, dude. Goddamn, do I want to play some Saints Row again?
Good song. Gonna be stuck
Great
in my
song.
head for the rest of the day.
Yep. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help out.
Yeah, now I got nothing else. All
I
right,
got nothing then.
cool. And I guess we're done with done the spoilers, and we're on to the news. Yay! Quick show today.
News.
Next thing I know, once you get your computer fixed, just gonna be a lot of you changing things. Like you'll do the thing and then you'll add a news at the end just because you like the echo effect.
You have a problem with the echo?
A lot of people have a problem with hearing multiple versions of you.
I don't give a shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, movie news.
Moon Knight comes out soon.
That's true. Morbius comes
Also,
out soon.
CW. Oh god, no. Dude, I saw something today on Twitter of someone posting movies that you know the Key and Peele skit when uh Jordan is Obama and he's doing that like hugging and handshake thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's superhero movies I'm excited for. And literally all the movies that the dude put on there are movies that aren't going to happen. Justice League Part 2 and 3. The New Gods movie. Cyborg. Ton of other things.
Yeah, just a
But
bunch
the
of movies.
the first one that he had, Morbius.
That's in 2
I
weeks,
saw
buddy.
Yeah, I saw it through Cosmonaut Mark, and he's like, Yo, none of these movies are. Wait, did you say you're excited for Morbius? I'm like, yeah, because like every other movie on that list aren't gonna happen.
Mhm.
Like one of them was the the part when it's Keegan is the other person. You
Mhm.
know, the Secret Service guy. Uh, he's a 1/4 black. um, is for but they replace it with he's the real Batman. And it's a Batfleck movie, and I'm like, dude, no, sorry, that ship sunk
Yeah,
a
that's
while
not
ago.
happening again.
Good luck.
I mean, I could see the one reason I could see Batfleck again is in Flashpoint Paradox.
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be in it.
Huh. Like I could see him being Thomas Wayne.
No, I think he's going to be in there as Bruce.
Hmm. Like
Yeah. Jeffrey D. Morgan was Thomas.
well, I know, but like when they reboot everything and they go to a different version of the world, I could see like an old they can age up Batfleck and make him look like a version of him that could be his father. And then that would be the last time we ever see him once they reset the universe again. Flashpoint stuff. And it's like, I'm a different Batman now.
Potentially. I don't know.
But no, I think
It's
they chose. I can't remember who they chose to be in the Flashpoint
the
Paradox.
Michael Keaton.
Yes.
We're getting Batman 89, and it's gonna be fucking dope. I can't fucking wait.
He runs so far into
I can't
the
wait to see him. The rest of the movie I think is gonna be garbage. I'm gonna make that abundantly clear. The
Mhm.
only reason I'm excited to see the Flashpoint movie is because I've talked about it since this movie like was announced that this is a bad idea. Like we've talked about it extensively at this point. The only thing I'm excited to see is Michael Keaton in a Batman suit again. So that's all that movie is good for. At this point.
But we got
So
to see him in a Falcon suit. Isn't that good enough?
shut up. But yeah, that's happening. So Morbius is soon.
Yep, in 2 weeks. But next week, got some movies.
Yes. We are reviewing. We're getting our ducks in a row in case they show up in the multiverse. We're knocking out all but one of the X-Men movies we have left to review. Which I was shocked to realize that we had reviewed the rest of the other 9 movies
Mhm.
at this point.
One of them was a joke
Um,
review, but it still counts.
It still counts because we gave it a score. Like we gave it a legit score, and we watched the entire movie
Mhm.
for the joke, because it gave us an excuse to watch Wolverine. And you know what? Like Wolverine is a good movie, so like it was a good watch. It was it was a win-win-win on all fronts. It was a funny bit. We because it was Hugh Jackman v Robots week, and he fights you know Silver Samurai mech suit in that, so it worked.
Worked.
It worked really well. And then
Real Steel and something else.
Chappie. So all of those being robot related Hugh Jackman movies. And we reviewed all the other ones. The other ones we haven't reviewed at this point was X-Men Origins Wolverine, which we are not doing next week. That is down the road. And the 3 that we're doing in canonical order is X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, and X-Men Apocalypse.
Ooh.
Do we want to predict which one's going to be our top of that list?
First Class.
First Class? Yeah, I agree. And it's not to like diss at Days of Future Past, but Days of Future Past is also a mess.
Mm-hmm. And Apocalypse is just
Bad.
yeah. I didn't want to be the one.
I'll say it. I literally watched it so we could do the Dark because I hadn't watched it yet because I didn't hear good things about it. But no, and then like shit, I watched it for when we did Dark Phoenix, and god damn.
Was a thing.
Yeah. And to think that wasn't Dark Phoenix almost one of the last movies we would have saw in theaters?
Pretty close, yeah.
Because that came out in 2020, right? Or was it late 2019?
Dark Phoenix, 2019.
Okay, so it was late 2019. November?
Initial release date June 2019.
Wow, that really did not make an impact.
Just don't remember
on my
when it
memory
came
of
out.
when. Yeah, I just know it came out. Fair enough then. But yeah, like so, and we did New Mutants last year. When we reviewed the Wonderful Woman 1984.
A new great movie.
It's bad. I just don't remember.
There was a bear ghost. Ooh. Yeah. Wasn't a ghost.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure where these all will fall. And then if it happens, we will put them in the list
Some point. Maybe.
if they show up. So, because we are keeping the MC, so just a refresher from last week, the MCU list is only going to be stuff that shows up in the MCU. So, and if their property shows up in some form, so like Venom showed up, so like canonically there. But the DC list is just DC movies that we've reviewed that are live action. Yeah, next week, X-Men.
Oh, I read something the other day. I don't remember what news outlet source it was, but it was a rumor going around that Sony wants to make their own central Infinity War type storyline, but they want to use the origins of the symbiotes. What's his name? Kroll or something like that.
Noel.
Glade. That came from Kroll. But Noel.
Noel.
I'm talking about another as well. The Glaive came from a movie called Kroll.
Oh.
But there's a character named Noel.
Okay. Fair enough. I didn't realize this. I thought you were calling the Obsidian Black, I think is what it was. The sword. That what is his name? Grohl is gonna have. The character showing up in he's gonna be played by Christian Bale.
We've got Grohl, Noel, and the movie Kroll.
Grow. I think it's Gorr if I remember correctly. But the God Slayer.
That was Gore.
Gore, thank you. It's the other way around, isn't it? Gore.
Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah. And Noel's the God Slayer, sorry. Because they both use Obsidian Black. And like they're setting up, I think we're really set up for like the King the Black King, I think is what the storyline, or the King in Black. When Noel like comes to Earth to fuck shit up.
Something like that.
I think we're really getting that set up because like he kills Celestials and we've got Celestials set up now. Thor,
but
getting Obsidian Black is a part of that, and Galactus ends up as a part of that.
But that's
like,
the MCU. I was saying that Sony specifically. So the Spideyverse.
I mean, their movies can help set that up too.
True, but the article said that Sony wanted to do this, not that Marvel wanted to make a Kroll, whatever movie. No.
Well, they're already setting it up in the MCU, so like
possible. Maybe. I mean, with all the comics out there in the world, they've probably set up every storyline at this point.
No.
Don't believe.
I don't care.
Mephisto's
not
gonna
so-
show up eventually.
I mean, potentially, but who knows? We'll see what happens.
Sorry, just the last message that popped up in your chat gave me a chuckle.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Said no. Okay. I haven't really got anything else to talk about in the show.
I got nothing else either.
Got no. All right.
Next week, X-Men, First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. We're done here. Dev's gonna leave me to go back to his 24 hours of streaming.
Yeah, I have 1 day left.
1 full day left, and a race to do tonight. So have fun with that. All right. So yeah. Bye everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. You got your outro thing figured out?
I was waiting for you to do it. Or did you want me to start?
No, it's fine. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.